Bernard Tyson, Chairman and CEO of Kaiser Permanente, welcome to Stanford and to Systems Leadership.
Thank you. Great being here.
So tell me a little bit about how you think about all the constituencies in healthcare. It's very complex with doctors and nurses and physicians and new technology development in the government. How do you think about how you need to balance all of those various players that you need to interact with as you run the business?
Well, you know, our model is all about integration, partnerships, how it all comes together. We are unique in a lot of ways, and that's one of the ways in which we're unique, because we have total responsibility, if you will, for the care and coverage of the almost 13 million people that we're privileged to take care of. So I'm always thinking about it in the context of how it comes together, how it integrates, and how it enables us to do what we need to do, providing the care and the coverage to the populations that we take care of.
How much of your time do you spend dealing with internal constituents, and how much of your time with external constituents?
Yeah, that's a great question. It goes back and forth, but I would say probably about 45, 55. You pick which side you want. But generally, about 55% of the time is internal, and I'll say about 45% is outside. And actually, I'm surprised by that, because I assumed that I would be spending a little bit more time inside and then doing my stuff outside as well. And the outside influences so much what happens inside, I've discovered in this role. And so I spend a lot of time with customers, with the government, in different environments. And it's extremely helpful in helping my thought process for the issues and the priorities that I'm taking on inside of the organization.
Let's spend a second talking about the government's role in healthcare. And there's obviously been a lot of discussion with the Affordable Care Act and what's been happening since. How do you think about, when you're interacting with government, how you take your learnings and your interactions and then convey those messages back inside, and how those interactions outside influence how you take care of the patients that come through Kaiser?
Yeah, I think of the government a lot as playing two major roles. A very big, important customer that is covering the lives of millions of Americans through the ACA, through Medicare, through Medicaid, and other government-sponsored programs. And so I pay attention to what my customer has to say. It is also a big regulator. And in that relationship, it's a combination of making sure that they understand and we have the proof of how we are complying against the set of regulations. But it is also playing a role of how to consult with the government to help them to understand the evolution of healthcare. And that's very important at Kaiser Permanente, because we invest so much in technology that gives us a different kind of infrastructure, how we make sure that our members are getting safe, effective care.
So let's talk about technology. What are the 2 or 3 ways that you think digital influences are changing how Kaiser delivers care to its customers and its patients?
Just the overall communication is probably one of the biggest one. Members having access to our delivery system in so many ways now. You could come in and visit us. You can go to a Target store in Southern California and you're linked to the Kaiser Permanente big in that kind of context. You can do secure e-visits. You can text now to Kaiser Permanente. You can set up video conferences to interact directly with the physician. So it has allowed us to what we call execute on our care anywhere strategy. So you're not restricted to just coming in to see the doctor anymore. You can be on the beach and send a message to your physician that you need health care. So it really has dramatically changed how we think about delivering health care. I think another example is inside, where we now have, through our technology, an advanced monitoring system for all of our patients who are in our hospital beds in Northern California. And with the systems and the AI technology now, it allows us to go upstream and to see the potentials of someone happening or potentially going into cold or something like that. And so the response team in the past used to be for those code blues, and they used to run and save a life. Now they actually respond ahead of time to go and check on a patient with the floor nurses and others to make sure that the patient is okay.
So a real critical issue in digital healthcare is privacy and patients feeling comfortable that their data is protected. How does Kaiser think about what you do in ensuring that patients are protected and that data is protected?
We think about it all the time. In two levels of that. One is the privacy, to make sure that no one is going into the health record who is not authorized and or who should not be in the health record. And so we have all kind of features around that, and the ability to what we call the fingerprint, the ability to track who went into the records. The second one is how to keep bad people out,
Right.
and cybersecurity and all the work that we do there. We actually have a cybersecurity committee at Kaiser Permanente, and I chair it. That's how important it is to the organization. As you can imagine, no one likes to have any of your personal information compromised. There's a big difference in how people feel about your credit card being compromised versus your personal health record. So the stakes are high, and how do we keep that information as confidential as possible?
So you chair that committee, and if you think back, you've been with the company, I believe, 33 years.
35.
35 years now, okay. And you've been the CEO for 6 years. What's the biggest surprise to you that you didn't expect about being the CEO that you've learned since you took over the position?
That it's very much an enjoyable job, but it is a 24/7 job, and you don't turn it off because there's so much going on. Exciting things and challenging things, and you feel the responsibility, obviously, directly, and so it is consuming, but it's a good kind of consumption.
Bernard Tyson, CEO, Kaiser Permanente, thank you so much for coming back to Stanford. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
It's great to be here.